Hi there, and welcome to the halftime huddle. This is midday during the week, the hump day, where we spend a little bit of time refocusing for the week. My name's Mark Webb, in case you haven't seen this before, and you've just stumbled across it. My name's Mark Webb. I am a founder of A Game Masterminds, which is an organization that supports small business owners by giving them the opportunity to leverage the experience and go further and farther with a mastermind group with support of their peers. Today, for me, this is we're in December. We're almost next week is going to be the winter solstice, which traditionally is the beginning of winter and a sign that we're coming to the end of the year, and it traditionally a time for looking at where we're going next. For those people in the northern hemisphere, in particular, for those in the southern hemisphere, we still have the year change, but the seasons have changed. You go from spring to summer this time of year. But what we do have is we have an opportunity to spend a bit of time thinking about what we're going to do next year. In some of my posts over this week, I have suggested some of an opportunity and a framework that you can use to have a look at how the last year's been, using the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today, I think we talked about the ugly, which is that those things in the year that didn't quite work out as well as you planned. They were a bit messy. They took a lot more effort and energy than you had hoped for, but still show potential. Those are the little nuggets where you can polish them and potentially make some good improvements as you go through 2025. I won't be talking about that today. I'll be talking about 2025, but not through the lens of the ugly of the things that went wrong and didn't quite work out last year or 2024. But before I move on, I'd like to ask those who come across this to comment below. When do you plan? When do you plan for the new year? Do you wait until January and do the resolution thing on January the 1st? Make some ideas and plans for the year? Are you really up on it and have been doing this from sort of November? Do you do this now, like me, round about the just before Christmas period, where you finish the year, you do a bit of review, or where? I'd love to hear how you plan for the next year, and how much planning do you do? We talked also yesterday in a post about keeping my eye on the prize in terms of the vision, the 5 year plan, the things I'm trying to go forwards. Other people call it the North Star, but which sort of confuses me a little bit because if you're not going north, you don't necessarily follow the North Star. But essentially, it's the guiding light, the thing that you keeps you focused during very much in terms of the hump day, the thing that keeps you focused when things go a little bit awry, when you're a little bit behind some kind of sticky situation, and the thing that keeps you going through that's your North Star, the thing that you're looking for, that's your vision. We talked about it yesterday. I'd be interested to know how you do that as well. So, but this is again not what we're talking about. We're talking about more the tactical part. What do you do planning for the year? Essentially, I want to do a little bit of a washover of the sort of ideas that we use here in Air Game Masterminds. We use a process 5-4-3-2-1 where we talk about the vision, which I've already mentioned. We start talking about the 4 seasons, which is a year, a 12-month period. And we've talked very much around the seasons and the cycle of the year and how the year plays out. Very much we start thinking about what we want to achieve next year based upon where we want to go to into our vision. So the 4 months of the 4 season yearly plan is very much tied into moving towards your vision. Um, I'd be interested to know if that's how you plan your year. Do you have an overarching vision of where you want to be in 5, 10, whatever years when you retire, and then start thinking about what's the next step? This is how we do it in here in a game. So how do you do it? How do you know what is the next step? One of the things that you come across when you're doing some planning is that we are, as human beings, very poor at estimating the future. We tend to, and this is a tendency, it's not a sort of a given, we tend to overestimate what we can do in a short period and underestimate what we can do in a long period. Primarily because we keep thinking of things in a linear line, sort of straight. Whereas we think if we're wanting to achieve in 5 years this wonderful goal, then we draw a straight line from now until then. And what happens is we don't hit those goals in the year because nothing goes straight. Even if we were doing things wonderfully and things managed to work out well, which 9 times out of 10, there's always a hiccup somewhere. Then it's not a straight line. It's more of a curve, though, a hockey shoe. We build on a compounding effect of the good, the milestones, the things that we've turned from ugly to beautiful. These sort of things give us some kind of bouncing, staged improvements. Even if they all go smoothly, they're not a straight line. So essentially, what we're looking for is where we can go in the next step. What is the small incremental change? We also talk about, and this is an exercise for you to play around with your spreadsheets. For those who are spreadsheet, I might, if you want, I can, if you want to download, I can create a little spreadsheet for you that shows you the benefits of compounding, even on a 1% minimal changes. It soon mounts up, it soon changes, and soon makes a big difference. And then that's the other thing that happens is that as you build up momentum, often the percentage changes get bigger as well because you get learn more and etc. So essentially, the thing to think about is what sort of things you want to plan today. And there's another idea, and I'm throwing ideas at you, and I know I'm going to be sort of maybe confusing you. If you want to spend a little bit more time talking about me, do come and say hi. Do comment below if there are any of these ideas that are interested to you and you want to hear more about them. Do please say hello. But one of the things I talked about is the sort of changes you want to make, and this is more or less what we talk about when we talk about the 12 months. How are we going to change what we do now so we can move towards the goal, the vision we've got? You can do this on a smaller incremental changes, which is where we talked about, a 1% change or a 10% change or a small change, or you could go mad and think, what can I do? A step change? How can I 10x what I do? What radical changes do I need to make to get to that sort of 10 times the state that I'm in at the moment to radically do that? There's a couple of people that I know, Andrew and Pete, I think it's called, or Pete and Andrew. I can never remember which way is which. It's like Ant and Dec. I will put a link to them. They run Atomicon, but one of the things they talk about is if you've got your 5-year goal plan, why wait till 5 years to go for it? Why not take these big leaps, these big changes, and try and reach towards some of the things you wanted to do in 5 years? Why wait for 5 years? So those are sort of the sort of strategies you might sort of take in mind when you're planning for what you'd want to do next year. And in terms of next year, one of the things we very much focus on in our game is the seasons, the changes. And these seasons can change, even if you're in the same hemisphere, even if you're going through the winter, the sort of business you run may well have a different cycle to the sort of seasonal cycle. For instance, travel business, very much rushing around this time of year to try and sell stuff. So they're very much launching new stuff, ready for people to go on holiday in the summer. So their winter is obviously a busy time to try and sell people to go on things in the winter. So it's not necessarily the same sort of thing that some other businesses do. When it's a bit quieter, they might start thinking of the winter time as a time to maintain what they've got, to have a look at some of the things that are not working, to look at their processes, get ready for the spring and the summer burst of energy that happens naturally in the cycle of the year. So first things first, I want you to spend a bit of time this time thinking about the next year. Are you going to 10x it? Are you going to go and look at radically take that big, audacious step towards your 5-year plan and do it now? Or are you looking to build incremental changes? So that's the first step I would ask you. Have a look at what your plans are. And if you've done your plans already, I would love to hear what are your big audacious goals. What are your incremental goals for the next year? I'd love to hear what you're trying to plan to do next year, so we can all help and support each other. And that brings me to the next stage. Planning is only part of the equation. A big part of the equation, and the secret sauce is the execution. And one big secret that we have that isn't a secret, it's an open secret, and that we push very hard at A Game Masterminds is the secret in the name, Masterminds. Having a supportive group to help you through can accelerate the progress you make. I've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks and the last month about if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if we're talking the year and the 5-year progress, we're talking about going far and going further. So the support of a mastermind is or a group of people who can help you is vital. We are opening up some spaces coming up. So if you'd like to know more about it, then do please drop me a line. Put mastermind in the comments, and I will get back to you, and we can talk about how we can make 2025 the year where you go further and you also go faster. So in the meantime, please let me know how you get on with planning. Do you do your planning now? I would love to know. Or have you already done it, or you do wait? Have a great second half of the week. This is getting closer to the break most people have, the Christmas break for those people who celebrate Christmas, or the natural break and spend some time with your family. Do remember that 2025 is going to be a great year. Let's hope we can all make it and support each other together. But in the meantime, let's hope the second half of your week is the best half. And I will see you next time.